Hello, welcome pen friends. I'm here to celebrate a really important milestone. Today is 3 years that I've been on YouTube making fountain pen and ink videos, and it's just really exciting to me. It seems so unlikely, but it's been 3 years now. And so it was September 7, 2017 when I made my first video that I consider the beginning of this channel. And I'm not going to talk about it a lot, but here's the cigar box, and I'll link you to that video. But it all started with talking about how to organize fountain pens with cigar boxes, which was a tip I had picked up from Troy LaPlante. And then it evolved into ink reviews and showing what came in the ink flights and reviewing products and you name it. But really, I don't want to talk about the really old history today. What I really wanted to talk about today was what has happened just during this past year. So since I talked to you last September, because I've done this every year, this is the third video where I've sat in front of you and said thank you and talked about things. And so I want to talk to you about all the milestones that occurred just in the past year. I think it's really exciting to look back and do that and not go all the way back, but just think about just the excitement and the fun and the involvements and things just from the past year. So first of all, I want to say a big thank you, because without you, there wouldn't be a channel. Without people watching, it wouldn't inspire me to continue. And without comments, what fun would that be, right? So, and I also want to say a big welcome, because just in the past 6 months, we've seen a lot of growth on this channel. In fact, it broke every pattern that had been since then, because in the 3 years that I've done this, it's been generally 1,000 subscribers per year. But this year, right now, just at the time of recording this, 3,678. And I attribute that to the pandemic and the fact that for many months there, back in March and April and May, people were at home and people had a lot more time on their hands to do things like watch YouTube videos about inks and fountain pens, and maybe more people found us too after the launching of the Ink Swatch website that I collaborated with Matt on. So I'm probably going to be all over the place, but I did do notes so that I wouldn't be too bad. So over 500 videos, it's been 3 years, and now we're almost at, we've gone way over 3,500 subscribers, which is just amazing. So let's talk about everything that's happened since last year when I talked to you. The first thing I'll mention is, and the reason why Coco made the thumbnail. Coco is my little Siamese mix kitty cat. Coco arrived on the scene in November of last year. So 2019 in November, right before Thanksgiving, my neighbor showed up with this tiny little pitiful looking cat that I thought, oh no, poor baby. Anyway, the rest is history, and you guys kind of know that if you've been watching me. But he was almost the end of the channel, because he, from a very young age, he would get up behind me here and pull down all the little ink bottles, and he would get into everything. And for a long time, I had to just completely relocate my entire everything to do with ink and pens that wasn't battened down or up really high. I had to put it in another room, and I didn't like the lighting there. I wasn't used to working back there in my dining room, and gradually I was able to kind of, I'm not going to say train him, because actually I'm to blame for some of the problems, because I've always been that way with my cats. If it wasn't for my husband, he'd probably be up on the counters and everywhere else too. I just, they're part of the family, and they're cleaner than we are as far as I'm concerned. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But, we have kind of a happy medium, because that doesn't go over too good with Manuel. But anyway, so Coco, was one of those turning points where it was like, is this channel going to survive? Can I even keep doing reviews? And also, I had been doing ink reviews at that point for 2 years. So I was kind of I'm actually going to say I was a little bit burned out at that point of doing the full ink reviews where it was just pretty repetitive and that kind of thing. Although I really love exploring the inks, I was doing it the same way, and I had created myself into a corner with my rules and so on. But anyway, despite the fact that, in fact, maybe because of Coco, because he brightened my spirit so much, the channel continued. I continued to find things I wanted to talk about. I did tape some of my videos from the back room there, and it just wasn't like this room here, even with the old paneling, even with everything, as it is. There's a spirit in this room because this is where I like to work every single morning, and the natural light pours in out from a window, and so it's got its own kind of energy to it. So when I was able to get back over here, it helped a lot. But in order to be able to do that, I actually had to do almost all my testing over by the sink, because Coco's kind of not all that coordinated, so he actually can't jump up on the counters yet. And I'm really glad, because he's a year old and he is a little bit heavy. We're working on that, but it's more than that. He's that way, that's all. And it's a good thing for me, because I can kind of do my ink splatters and line up things that need to dry, because you can just imagine. Now, before Coco came, I could have things lined up over here drying, but he would just run across everything. So it's so interesting. It's like, I think him coming into my life, I had to really decide, am I going to keep doing this? Do I really want to? And the answer was a big yes. I just couldn't see not doing what I love to do and sharing it with you guys anymore. So I kept going. So let's see, I think yeah, I said we really do have some bonus subscribers that I think came about, because of the uniqueness of 2020 and how we all got caught having to stay at home a lot and being quarantined or locked down. Every place calls it something different, So our growth went up over 3,000 in a hurry there. So another milestone was launching the inkswatch.com website. I mean, me helping Matt with that project. Really, it's just the tiles. I was already doing this, and as you guys know, now there's a website where we can compare the color ink tiles, and that is thanks to Matt's hard work, and I really didn't have as much to do with it as he did, but it's neat to be involved in that project. I just love it. There's not a day that goes by that I don't sign in and compare an ink on there as kind of a preliminary step in comparing inks. So I'll link you to the website. Okay, so I wrote down as a milestone for the past year, surviving a global pandemic and staying connected. So this, coming here to YouTube, even if I wasn't making videos, I'm an avid YouTube watcher. And so it's been a way that I could really value and realize, what a bonus it is to have this kind of content made by other people just like me, just regular people. And so I feel like, not only making videos, but having this place to come to and watch other people's fountain pen videos and inks, and I also watch crystal videos, and actually now I even watch prepper videos to learn how to, get my head around being ready for the kinds of things that have been happening, without getting too extreme or anything. Another thing that happened was I was invited to participate in Applebaum's Top 3 Pen Series, and that was such an honor, and that video is out there too. I'll see if I can't link that in case you missed it. And then another thing that happened between the last time we talked in Sept, last time I came on and talked about a milestone anniversary like this, I was asked to participate in the Gold Spot fountain pen gift guide, and that was really fun. I look back on it now and it's like, wow, I really didn't know what I ought to be providing for that, but I know now. And also I got a little bit more familiar, or not just familiar, I got a little more comfortable in front of the camera, just a little bit. I'd really rather just my hands and my desk be shown, but I've gotten, my comfort level has increased since then. But still, they included my input, and it was really cool to be asked to do something so cool like that. And then another big thing, which I kind of lumped it all together, but I've had, all along, I've had so much support from the viewers of this channel. And I've said from the beginning, it's like, it's viewer sponsored. Like, you guys have sent so many ink samples, all 12 of those shell containers behind me that hold 25 each. are full of ink samples thanks to you guys. And there are more, you know, separated by different stages of their development in my comparisons. But during the past year, I've been even more supported by some of the companies, and I've listed them down here. Lockbee, that makes the field journal and the little pocket note, the pocket notebooks, and well, Ink Journal has been a supporter from the very beginning, Tom at Ink Journal. And then Goulet Pens even sent me ink samples of the whole 10 standard line of the Jacques Arbon, I'm not going to be able to say that right, Premier ink samples. So that was really cool. I mean, I've been a fangirl and a, you know, shopper at Goulet Pens from the very beginning, and Rick Shaw continues to be one of my biggest supporters. You know, gosh, thank you to all of those folks, in addition to every single one of my viewers. And some of the people I just mentioned are also viewers. So, you know, it's a small family, you know, or I should say a large family. It's a large community. And then there's the smaller communities that we kind of get, you know, join in the fountain pen community. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know, I really feel supported. I feel that sense of community and that sense of being connected. And for me personally, even before the pandemic came, I'm kind of a homebody, and I'm a stay-home kind of person, and I don't require a lot of social interaction. I had maybe about a couple of years where I did. I joined a church locally. It was a spiritual community. We stopped calling it a church. It was a unity place. And, you know, I did a lot of social things then. I'm not sure I was all that comfortable with it, but I did. And, but most of my life, I've been kind of a stay-home person that liked to keep things simple. I would go to work and then I would have my hobbies, you know. But this is the first hobby that I've ever found, fountain pens, where it also keeps you connected so well to other people. And so there's a lot more enjoyment in this hobby than there is, say, in crocheting, for me anyway, or reading, or some of the other hobbies I have, because the fountain pen hobby includes writing letters and watching other people's videos and interacting with people who watch my videos. And, you know, I won't even be able to do it justice. There are just so many different avenues. And I haven't even been to a pen show yet. I have lived vicariously through people who have been and watched their live streams from pen shows. I've almost went to the Colorado pen show one year, but it was going to be an awful lot of expense, and I kind of had to weigh that against, you know, being able to see my family in Vermont. So I didn't go that year, and I always wished I had, because I would have actually met my pen friend who has since passed away from cancer. And, you know, I regretted that. I really regretted that, because, you know, I probably could have found some way to balance it financially, but I just made the decision that you know, the best one I could at the time. So the next thing I wrote down was that in the past year, since we talked last like this, a lot of people that I know that are fountain pen enthusiasts and hobbyists have started their own YouTube channels, and I'm so excited. It's fun. It's really, really fun for me to watch people that are, you know, new to YouTube and that are starting out and making videos, and I learned so much. You know, I've learned little things that that just were like, wow. You know, how can it be that I've been in the hobby, or back in the hobby, for 4 years and I didn't know this? You know, so it humbles you, and it makes you realize, wow, we can all learn so much from each other. And I actually learned more in the comments on my videos than I could ever really teach. Or, you know, when I say teach, that's silly, because what it is, I think, is I was a preschool teacher for 6-7 years back in the 90s, and I think that kind of always stays with you, but I don't ever really mean to sound like a teacher, because, you know, I'm a beginner, really. Back when I was a teenager, I had a fountain pen just like my mom's, a little Schaefer, and that was a frustrating experience for me. I didn't really understand how to take care of it, and so it wasn't until about 2016 when I really got back into fountain pens and discovered Fountain Pen 101 series by Brian Goulet, that's when I started to realize I can do this. Yeah, I could do this. And these kinds of educational platforms and being able to learn this way, which I'm a very visual person. So some little slip inside a box that tells you what to do isn't enough. The video with the pen and with the things you need and showing me how to do it, that's what I need to really learn. And so it's just really exciting. I'm so excited. I've just talked too fast and gone right through this list. So now we get to the part where I really ramble probably. But I don't want to forget anything. And even if I say thank you 300 times, it won't be enough because, I don't know where to begin. When I look at my things, even my pens, and I visualize what my collection would look like without the things that have been, showered on me really and sent to me, it's just pretty mind-blowing. And it's given me that opportunity to explore so many things that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. I think it's time for a drink of water before I just plain run out of steam here. And give you a chance to breathe too. So I've got a few notes on, kind of how I want to proceed forward. And then I got a big announcement for the end, but that's kind of a strange thing. Anyway, so going forward, I want to keep a real open-ended, kind of open mind about what the next year will look like, because I feel like that's when the best things happen. I don't work well with hard and fast goals, I don't have really targets, although I want to put up a video every week. And I do, the first thing I wrote down was develop more consistency, because just in case you haven't noticed, I do tend to kind of barrage you with videos and then things kind of dry up. So I really would like to get that balanced. And there's ways to do that without really changing when I do the videos. If I make 4 videos at a time. My friend Wasky Squirrel's got that down. He does what he calls batch filming, and I just can't seem to get it through my head that I don't have to just release all 4 videos at once. If that's what my creative muse has led me to do, I don't have to necessarily release them that day. Okay, the second thing I wrote down was continue to vary the content. Pens, inks, notebooks, creative ideas, things like that. Because that better follows the way I am, just how I approach the hobby and what things I'm interested in. And I think that as long as I am talking about things I'm enthusiastic about, that seems to be the magic sauce as far as what people, respond to. It's nothing fancy. It's just, my particular perspective on the things that I'm enjoying so much in the hobby. And then I wrote down inks and I circled it because I'm an ink person, and it's my number one thing is splashing around with ink. I've got these kinds of things all over the place. What's this? Monteverde Purple Rain. I think I was kind of comparing how much brighter Purple Rain is than some of those other darker purples that I was doing last week. So the announcement that I have is kind of silly. It's kind of like a tattletaling on myself. I just want to tell you what I'm personally doing to celebrate this 3-year anniversary. And please don't laugh, but I think you probably will. I made this purchase and it's on its way to me right now. And it is take a breath here because you're not going to believe this, a 16-ounce bottle of ink. But I'm not going to tell you yet what it is. I actually want you to guess. I want you to guess in the comments. I mean, and I'll give you at least one hint. Okay, so here's one hint, and some of you may know already, but one of my dearest pen pals, this was her favorite ink color, and she told me all about it, but she didn't have a lot of the ink, and it hasn't been around. It hasn't been for sale. You couldn't find it, and so it's really, I'm not very good at keeping secrets, first off, but I do kind of think it'll be fun for us to do a little bit of you know, kind of a game here. If you guess, let me try to think of another hint. Okay, it's not quite my favorite color that I go around telling you is my favorite color, but it has my favorite color in it. Now, you know, you guys know that purple's my favorite color, right? So it's got a lot of purple in it, but it's not what I would sit there and tell you is a purple. And when I said 16 ounces, I mean 16 ounces, not 16 milliliters, not your typical Noodler's bottle, which is, you know, well, your typical Noodler's bottle holds 3 ounces. And you guys, you know how big these are. That's pretty big for an ink bottle, right? This is a Apache Sunset. And then I think I have a 4 ounce or more. I'll have to look at the bottle. My Heart of Darkness. Oh, I'm going to fall out of this shirt. Let's see, what is this? This is a big bottle too. 4.5 ounce. Okay, so the bottle on its way to me is not 4.5 ounces, it's 16 ounces. I'm trying to visualize how these people are going to package this ink up to send it. And I'm just like, it's coming priority mail. It's showing up in the system already, so it's on its way. It'll be here probably before this video gets released because it comes really pretty quick in priority mail. But I just thought it would be fun because I really, honestly, I don't know how. I have to just tell you the truth about how this ink that's on its way to me, that's a 16 ounce bottle. Let me see if I can find something in the kitchen that's 16 ounces. Okay, are you ready for this? This is 16 ounces. This is avocado oil, and this is exactly 16 fluid ounces. So it's pretty big, and just imagine, so I ordered 16 ounces of this beautiful ink. And I'm the queen of telling everybody never buy ink without an ink sample, but I kind of had an ink sample because my pen friend over the course of a whole year wrote to me at least twice a month or once or twice a month, and different pens that she had with this ink, and it's beautiful, and I already know what it looks like in a nib just from hers. And I thought to myself, okay, what does somebody do with 16 ounces of ink, right? Well, I'm already kind of figuring that out because I've got to have more empty bottles so that I can share it. But like this is, I think, I'm really not sure which one this is. This might have been the Murasaki Shikabu, the Pilot. So that would make it maybe 10 mil. But I'm trying to look for sturdy bottles that actually like close really, really good. Anyway, there's a lot of companies that sell used bottles, so that's not a problem because you can get the bottles. But I definitely will be sharing it because there's no way I can write with 16 ounces. But it's kind of a comedy show in my mind right now going on, like, oh, please let it arrive without any spillage and breaking. And now, I did say it was a Noodler's ink, right? And it's beautiful. And it had not been around, you know, for at least, let's see, I had the year written down and everything. That'd probably give away too much. Some of you have already guessed, I'm sure. What year did that come out? I think it was 2014, but I can't remember now. If I can find it again, I'll put it in the description box. How's that? So the comedy show in my mind has gone something like this. Okay, how much of this ink do I need to save for myself? And how much can I give away, right? Or whatever. I thought, well, at least I got to have 3 ounces at least because, you know, let's see, 2 bottles would be 6 ounces, you know. Anyway, if you're an ink fanatic like I am, then you know what you kind of can imagine what I'm thinking, you know. And then like these bottles, they aren't very big, but that'd be more like a sample because you know, having that much ink, you can be pretty generous with the samples. So anyway, I thought, well, this will be for me and it'll be for pen friends. I can't say too much about the color because I'll just give it all away all at once there. And I thought it would be a really fun way to commemorate, not only commemorate the 3 years that I've been doing YouTube, but to remember my pen friend. You know, she passed away. It was either late 2017 or early 2018 that she passed away from cancer. And so, but if she were here, and if she saw what I saw of the opportunity to get a bottle of this ink, she definitely would get one, I'm sure, because she just talked about that all the time. I wish you could get this. You can't get this anymore. And what might look like it. And we talked about that. And that was before I had any real like skills in comparing colors. You know, now I probably could have, you know, had her send me a tile, and I could have really found something that kind of centered right in on that color. Although she did say it was unique, and she had a lot more experience in fountain pens and inks than I did. So, in fact, I learned so much from her. And so it's kind of like, you know, we kind of have a choice. Be sad. Yes, there are days like that we're going to feel that way. Or grab onto life and do what they would do, the people that we miss or the people that we don't have with us in the physical plane anymore. And do it for them, you know, and like do it in their honor. And so this is one of those things that just, oh, I started to tell you. The thing is, I was doing something one day, and I thought, well, I wish I could get my hands on a sample of this ink, this very ink that now 16 ounces is on its way to me. And I kid you not, I thought, you know, I could probably put out like a community message on my YouTube channel and say, you know, I'm willing to pay for any size sample of this ink, you know. And it's not Lamy Dark Lilac, obviously, because it's Noodler's ink, but I thought somebody's got some, and somebody would send me 2 mils, and I could like make a tile, and I could play around with it. And then I just completely dismissed it. I thought, no, I don't ask for things, and I'm not going to start now. I mean, I could ask the universe, but I'm not going to like, you know, ask people to send me things. I am already so spoiled, and people have sent me so many things. But after that, I just forgot about it. And then I'm on my computer, and this video comes up, and the video pertained to this ink, and I'd never even heard of these folks, and I'm going to give away too much, and I don't want to, but because I think it's kind of funny. It's fun to have it like this, you know, kind of a mystery, and it'll all get solved eventually. But when I saw that, I thought, this is unreal. This can't be real. I was just thinking, I wish I could get my hands on 2 mils of this ink. And I thought, is this what the universe means by like having an intention and then not being attached to it, and then having access to this huge bottle which nobody could ever use by themselves? It's weird. In fact, I thought to myself, now this could be a total scam, a hoax beyond hoaxes, and you could, you know. So I didn't use my debit card, which is another, you know, I'll have to pay that with my debit card. I'll have to pay that credit card. But I thought, I've never heard of this place, you know. But then another really reputable place had sold out of it, and I thought, okay, if this was 6 years ago, why would it even, no, this is, okay, something's going on. So then I went on Fountain Pen Network, couldn't find anything about it. I still don't know, but there's a priority label made, and, you know, everything went just like clockwork, and now it shows there's none available, which would also make sense, because I thought, how did I end up getting there in time? It took me like 3 rounds to end up with a bottle of SBRE Brown. And I had to get the flu and be right on top of my phone to end up that lucky. This video is about to be 30 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I just appreciate every one of you so much. I'll link some of the older videos. They're kind of hilarious. I did one at the 1st year anniversary, and I don't even look like myself. Actually, it seems like I look younger now, but maybe I'm just delusional. And then at the 2-year point, and this is 3 years, you know, 3 years, 500 fountain pen and ink videos. Just amazing. You know, I do plan on being here a year from now to talk to you again this way and celebrate 4 years, but that's not up to me. That's just my plan. So, and I'll definitely see you between now and then, God willing, and the creek doesn't rise. I guess that's what my grandmother used to say. So I'm going to let you go because I don't normally go over 30 minutes. Please guess on what would, what ink would inspire me to buy 16 ounces and then be trying to look for bottles and figure out who will want some and how to proceed and just have a big celebration. So thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.